So, want ways to apply your greatest skills, mystical abilities, and flashy magic to improve the world. All right, I think, well, for me, this is self-evident, but I was led to give a workshop because I know there's questions about it. So I want you to tune into and remember the stuff you heard about life purpose. If you're tuning in a bit later, it's earlier in the video, so when you replay, you'll encounter it. Your greatest skills, you know what they are. And you also know you can build any skill you're really determined to build. You want to learn how to play the piano, do taxes, give great massage, be a good listener, raise a child, clean up the ocean, be good with biochemistry, be good with robotics, be a great speaker, writer, healer, be more kind, be more healthy. You know there are skills related to all those things, and you can learn those skills. Google is great. Books are great. I actually don't want to recommend Amazon because many reasons, but you could look for books anywhere you want to support the individual stores that are out there that aren't that behemoth that cuts down forests and doesn't distribute wealth very well. So if you really want to think about being aligned in having these skills and building these skills, are you committed to building them? Are you committed to recognizing what you have? When was the last time you treated yourself like a potential employer for an interview for your dream job? Right? For an interview like that, you would memorize your resume, ideally. You would know about the opportunity. You would think about your greatest strengths and achievements, and you would represent those, ideally in a humble way that related to the position, that showed you as a good fit. So for your life purpose, for your life mission, for your goals this month, think about everything you've done in the past that was a success, and really feel that. We can tend to not believe in ourselves and forget about our achievements during setbacks. In the age of the Pollyanna-esque Facebook, everyone's saying all the good stuff about their life, and us maybe feeling like we want some of that too, and there's only so much time each day. But if you really think about the skills that you have, and any skill that you can build with time, because we're all born pooping our pants, every single skill we have, we learned, or we recognized. If it was just, we were like Mozart, we were playing the piano when we were 3. Right? I heard he had lessons, though, and I heard he wasn't very good at 3, but, besides the point, just as an example. Roger Bannister, the first man to run the 4-minute mile, he developed the skill of running. He might have had some natural gifts allowing him to be a better runner, and maybe he had certain physiological things like his height, but he developed that skill over time. And then other people did, and then more and more people broke that record. So I think if we want to talk about mystical abilities and flashy magic to improve the world, that's where the grounded stuff comes in. Because our culture isn't really one that celebrates an overt use of magic yet. We like good psychics, like who are actually legit, who surprise us. But we hate frauds, and there's no regulation, so it's hard to tell often. We like really good healers, like William Bankston and Dr. Joe Dispenza, who have excellent science, great data, MRI imagery, you name it, to show extremely rapid healing, much faster than the fastest surgeons' timetables to heal significant wounds. I used some on myself on a broken shoulder. I healed it twice as fast as a Stanford surgeon thought was possible. Many other examples out there. If you want to look for them, check out their books or PM me, and I'd be happy to share these resources with you. So the ability to heal somebody instantly, or heal a wound extremely fast, if you do that and call it mystical because of the spiritual and energetic stuff you bring in, think again about what we said about needing to feel special. If you parade that ability, you might get a lot of scorn, you might get criticism, you might get doubt, thus blocks to being effective. But if you just do it, the results will speak for themselves. And if fame or notoriety or serving in a big way is part of your mission, that will happen organically. And that doesn't mean you can't, build a channel and pay for advertising and stuff like that, but it will build because you've done it. So what I'm saying is, any mystical skill you want to build, you can build. If you want to learn how to do anything I mentioned or any mystical skill you've ever heard of, just invest the time, right? It's not that extreme. Some things like levitation are so far out there and so high up that they may require, years and years, if not a decade or many decades, and vows. And certain specific individuals and groups who have done that can show you they can do that and can teach that. So you want to think about something that is achievable and that really makes sense and that has value for your life. So I'm just going to give a few mystical skills that I built, and I use the word mystical like I use the word magic because most people don't fully understand the science and technology behind them, so they're indistinguishable from magic. to borrow from Arthur C. Clarke for a minute. So if you talk about building muscle strength, something, pretty much anybody, all of us want throughout our lives, especially when we're older, but at any point, we all want to have muscle strength. And there's a number of studies that have shown that if you visualize lifting a weight, you gain muscle mass and you gain strength based on that visualization. Now, this hasn't been extremely comprehensive. The examples that I've read are not extremely all across the board, all demographics, all body types, all exercises. But I can speak from experience that in my own body, when I deeply visualize lifting weights, I have more muscle tone, I have more strength, I have muscle soreness, and if I had a knot I didn't take care of, I have like some tightness and restriction and pain in my body. I had a teacher who gained 30 pounds of muscle in 6 months doing this technique. Now, I'm not teaching it here, I'm just mentioning it, so if you're skeptical, again, that's something I can teach you for your own self one-on-one, and other stuff I put in videos on Measured Golden Age, my website, and on Wizard School on there. I talk about this a little bit. But if you think about that, that's kind of a mystical ability, using consciousness and visualization for direct impact in the material world, and it's convenient. Now, if you talk about starting fires with chi, something, higher, more flashy magic, think about why you want that ability. Do you want the ability to show people that you can zap something and create light or create fire, like a lot of the videos on YouTube, which are not fakes? I've seen people, myself included, put candles out with their chi, and it wasn't just air current. We tested it very well from a good distance, and things blocking the air. So the value of those things, there's two big values to flashy or magic. If they don't have a practical value, like healing or manifestation, which I think is the most practical thing out there, raising the probability of the events that can happen in your life. Love teaching that. I actually personally specialize in that. So if you think about a flashy magic, like lighting stuff on fire or creating light, that can be useful for inspiring people to be curious about a path. And it's a very slippery slope to wanting them to believe in you and your path and thinking you know everything because you have this one skill. That has been done and people have gotten caught and it hasn't turned out well. But if you have a higher level mystical ability, you can, affect the lights by focusing on them. You can move something with your mind. You can create sparks. You can light stuff on fire. You can zap people with energy and they can feel it immediately. That I'd say 90% of people can feel energy when I transmit it if I'm in the right state and they're receptive. Not imagining, but receptive. There's a significant difference. That can help inspire people because it shows that there's more to reality than what they were exposed to. If you have never, ever gone to Japan, there's so much creativity and imagination. I guarantee you, if you have any spark of creativity in you and you go to Japan, you're going to leave with so much inspiration because there's so many novel, unique, cool, funky, creative things they do there. Or if you see a Cirque du Soleil show or go to an amazing museum and you're really open, right? So a lot can inspire. And mystical abilities can inspire people to explore mysticism, which hopefully can lead to spiritual awakening. Hopefully can lead to more people being more kind, compassionate, loving, being of service. Hopefully can lead to people growing in a healthy, balanced way through good, credible teachers, right? So that's the value of those flashier skills. And of course, the practical value of high-level flashy magic is, like I said, regrowing rainforests very quickly, reforming glaciers, one of my own personal moonshots, and many other things.